Oh wait, can I look at my notes for this one? I had a really good I remember this one I put down. I've done everything that I've done now, like for years, but I feel like it's easy for a kid that's really young just to pick up a camera and just put on some headphones or whatever and go set it down and make dance videos. So I feel like that's why I was known for dancing first, because I was able to put it out at that time when I was young. But like whenever you're a kid and trying to make music, you don't have access to like something like this. It translated because I've always loved making music, but I just couldn't. As I got older, I had more opportunity to be around equipment and studios and places that were like community centers, like Elements and Over the Rhine. Like I actually had opportunities to be around it more. So yeah, I feel like people look at me now a lot differently than they looked at me like if you actually knew me. Like growing up, like I've had so many different like phases and different things that have just happened to me. Like I was born in Louisiana and stuff like that. I think there would have been a lot worse opportunities, unfortunately, because right when we left, at least, or we were in like the eye of the storm and Hurricane Katrina and all that stuff. So like definitely the city was like destroyed for years, and it still is recovering from Katrina. So it's like that economically, it's not as good. The population's smaller. It's poorer. It's one of the poorest states, unfortunately. So I think that as much as I love that state and I have a great love for Louisiana and the people there and all of that, I just think that I actually probably had better opportunities up here in a city that's growing and developing. Like Cincinnati just passed Pittsburgh's population. Like it's definitely just a city that is an underdog city still, but I feel like that's why there's opportunities in that, is that there's just something kind of like boiling about Cincinnati that people have yet to see. In Louisiana, the public schools were very like bad there, and so my parents sent me to a private school. I just remember like I wanted to try to stand out on my uniform. I was very young, but I still just wanted I just wanted Vans or like flashy green Vans or like Osiris's or something. I just wanted to like stand out, and I remember there'd be like jeans day or something like that, and I would get like coded or whatever the term is for not dressing correctly or whatever, because I'd push the boundaries. And like even in high school, like when I was in a public high school, obviously I'd get like pulled aside for wearing like clothes that were inappropriate or something like that, because I just wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to express myself. I didn't care really like what anybody else thought, but it's really just like fuck up what everyone else thinks about you. Just you have to do what you want. And as a kid, you have to realize that I feel like below the age of 14, you have to make a decision to like, I'm gonna either be along with the crowd or I'm gonna just like do my own thing. And like I feel like everyone eventually realizes, oh, I should have done my own thing the whole time, because like school and people around you don't really matter. As I got older, clothes like came into like where I liked brands more, like Vetements and like ACW, Off-White. Like those are actual designers that I look up to, or brands that I look up to. So I wore these today. I feel like compression pants and like sportswear is like super, like it's super comfortable. And I feel like back in 2014 again, or some kind of like around that range, Virgil Abloh released Pyrex Vision, which was a brand where he like modeled all the ASAP crew or mob in the actual like video for it or whatever, and they were all wearing joggers with shorts over them. And that's actually why I wore these today too, because I just like, I love Virgil, and I think he was one of the best designers that existed. And I think that just like, I don't know, kind of just doing your own thing like that. Like not a lot of people would view like compression pants and shorts as like a fashion statement, but it's definitely like a me thing. So I think that like I have friends that like are not into clothes. So like that's important to like, I feel like people think that like everyone around me has to like look dope and like be dope, like, or has to have like a cool car, just has to do something like cool. And it's just like, nah, it's just like, as long as you're true to who you are. And like, I know it sounds like so oversaid and basic, but it's so true. Like, I think that like, if you like wake up and you wear something and it's not like what you feel comfortable in, you're gonna feel like shit all day because you're like, oh, I'm not feeling myself. But if you just wear like, even if someone else doesn't like it, or it's not like popular or cool, if you just wear that and it makes you feel good and you like go run errands or just live your day, it's like you feel so much better about yourself. So just confidence is key when it comes to style. Like for me, I like black clothes. Like I just feel like I look better in black. I think a lot of people look better in black because it makes your skin look a little bit tanner, or you know, shows different accents off of your features. So yeah, I think clothes are genderless completely. Like I think that I'm personally like straight and that's how I identify, but I think that like Jaden Smith is a huge inspiration to wear, like he's straight too, but he wears like, he modeled Louis Vuitton women's wear. Like I think that's such a good push toward like where fashion should be. I think that like I truly believe that clothes are genderless. And like in high school, like it was weird to get made fun of by people that liked you. Like as weird as that sounds, like people would tell me I was wearing a dress because I'd wear like really long shirts and like skinny pants because I was super inspired by like Kanye back in like 2015 or whatever. People just like feel insecure about themselves because they're wearing what everyone else is wearing, or just they're not feeling themselves, or whatever it may be. They're not confident enough, so they have to find something and pick out about something that someone else is doing so they can feel better about themselves. And that's just kids, that's just like school, or just that's just even adults. Like even in a workplace, people are like if you were like in a law office and you go and dye your hair as a lawyer, people are going to be like, why did you dye your hair? And it's like, oh, I actually have a life outside of being a lawyer that maybe I like expressing myself or something. It's just like our society's so like judgmental. I just feel like, I don't know, people might hate me for this that are actual like other car enthusiasts, but if I could get any car, I'd get a Nismo Nissan GTR. It's the perfect functional supercar that I could literally use up here. Is the thing in Cincinnati. Like it's all-wheel drive, just a sick ass car. So definitely a GTR. And if I didn't get a GTR, I'd probably have to get the new Z, 2023 Z Nismo. Obviously like Nissan, I have a 370Z. My car is called a drift missile because it's meant to go sideways. But as soon as I get on a road that's even just flat, that just has a tiny bit of rain or ice, like I have to go like 25 miles an hour because it'll just slip out and I'll go sideways. So it was hard getting into this driveway. Like I had to go, one of my back wheels was like spinning as I was trying to pull in, but I was good, I got in. That happens sometimes. So I lived in Clifton, so if I can drive in Clifton, then I can drive anywhere basically. I think that you have to slam it to the ground. I know a lot of people say that, or if you have a car that's already low, like when you get it, like you gotta get an exhaust on it at least or something. But normally like slamming it to the ground, either on springs or coilovers or something, like if it's not scraping, then it's not hard. I think a lot of my songs pass the car test, but it always depends on who's in the car. I think, you know, like if it's not just like an NPC that just listens to just like popular music, they're gonna genuinely be like I've played songs that my friends didn't know at first that were mine, just to like test it and see if they recognize it. Like, damn, this is good, or like whatever, or like a beat or something. But yeah, I mean, if they're not like basic, then yes, you can vibe to all my music. It's all different. I try to hit as many genres as I can, but I'm just limited to recording and stuff. I feel like I have like a variety, like no matter if you like EDM music or like I guess the main genres that I would put it in are EDM, cloud rap, and like R&B. If you like any of that stuff, like you'll find something that I have that you'll like, I promise. The Black Eyed Peas, I remember, were like huge for me as a kid, just like the synthetic sound, and like I know people didn't like that, but I loved like auto-tune, like Kanye West and stuff like that. Like that's what inspires me at least. And so once synthetic sound started becoming more popular, like Skrillex, you have Skrillex that came out, and this like Flume, like those two, like 2012 maybe, or 13-ish range, like that's kind of what I listened to. And then as it progressed, I kept listening to Flume and stuff, but like Crystal Castles was even before that, I think. But I don't know, just like a mash of all those artists is what I want my sound to sound like. So yeah, I want it to feel like you just broke up with your partner, like, and it's like nighttime in your city that you live in, and you're like driving around or something and it's raining. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. That's how I want all my songs to make you feel. But honestly, in reality, whatever people project onto me and they like enjoy it that way, that's how I want it to be. Like whatever you hear is how it's supposed to sound. You know, even if it's not exactly what I hear, I'm releasing it so that you can have your own experience with that song. You know, a lot of people that are local, I feel like it almost is nice to have people that are my friends that are local artists, because I view them as friendly competition almost. Like if somebody, like if like Leo Pastel drops, or if Tony drops, or if anybody drops, it just makes me like want to drop something. So like seeing other people that are around me like release music really gives me more motivation to try to put something out. But sonically, what inspires me is probably like, definitely if we're talking about artists that are not local, it's gonna be like Kanye West, Crystal Castles, XXX Tentacion. I feel like those like really basic, some of those, but like Flume is like someone that I feel like people wouldn't know that I'm inspired by, or like Lucky. Even though I don't make music like Lucky, I am heavily inspired by like Lucky and stuff like that. Or so I feel like I'm gonna hate myself for not mentioning something, but like Daft Punk or something. Like I like electronic music, but there's like a aesthetic sound that I like when I listen to music. So those kind of embody that. So I think Soon with Leo Pastel and Internet Boy, Internet Boy just released a song with Chief Keef, so he's killing it too. Leo's killing it. But yeah, I love that song because it was in the making for so long that it felt so good to finally release, and it had really good, like we released NFTs with it, and those all sold out. Like 40 NFTs just sold out, and that was all Leo that did that. He did that at like the NFT NYC or Miami, I think it was, and sold like a bunch of them. And it's just like, it was such a cool process to be a part of. And Warner Records, their sister company, posted an article about us, Warner Brothers Records, and that was like the biggest thing that's ever happened to me, I think, like as far as like being co-signed by a record label that's like Warner Brothers Records is like huge for me. But I feel like people underplay that because I'm not big enough or something, or like, I don't know, you know. But I think there's a lot of people that stuff happens to around here that definitely need like more attention about that stuff. But favorite song, probably Soon, and then after that Pearl. I think after that, I feel like there's a lot of cool people that I meet that like I wish I could tell people that I met, but like it'd just be like lame. But like there's a lot of cool people that I've met either at shows or like whatever. I really appreciate the opportunities that I have. Like I'm blessed to be around some of the people that I am around, like managers of really, you know, people that you've definitely listened to or things like that. Like, and then honestly, Soul Serum has been a huge part of that for me. Like it's like a family with Soul Serum, but like just even being around them, you get to just meet other artists, or just if you involve yourself with a lot of people from the scene, eventually you'll just like start meeting people. Or if you're like if you live in Cincinnati and you want to get involved in the scene, literally just start going to shows, like underground shows at Madison Live or Bogarts or Top Cats, and like you'll start meeting people, and you'll find yourself in a room one day, you're just like, I look up to all of these people that I'm around, you know. I feel like that's super cool. So I like don't want to release music unless it's like a collaboration, but probably Tony again or Leo. I would love to make like a couple more songs with them and release it. Like right now, I think I don't have too much in the vault with collaborations, because it's like that's like the hardest thing to do. It's easy just to like go somewhere and get yourself or a producer and make music, but it's even like, it's like 50% harder just to find somebody that can match your time and then record and then actually make a song, which takes hours. And so yeah, not like this. This is a sick ass studio, but I mean, I've been in studios like probably like similar sized again, but this is just like a lot of equipment that's really, really nice. But like it can range from like anything like 2 a.m. in Tony's kitchen with a bunch of people around to like 3 rooms upstairs apartment or whatever with like some of this equipment and you know, some really good mics, you know. So it's just like, normally it's something that's on the go and still with like some nice equipment or nice DAWs, but not to anything that's like a really professional studio. But I do kind of like the raw sound, I'm not gonna lie. Like I almost like when I hear songs that are almost like unmastered a little bit, because it has a type of character to it that a lot of people don't like. I feel like that's like some of why Kanye's music is popular too. It's because he'll just like rip out something like a one-time thing and it just sounds crazy. But like it's definitely, I mean, he definitely obviously has like plenty of engineering and stuff, but just almost like, so I just have some rawness to the music whenever it's like recorded in like an upstairs room or something, you know, just has a weird feeling. So I started out with Studio One, and it was not a good, I mean, Studio One's good if you know how to use it, but it's just like really basic. But then yeah, I went to GarageBand, and now I use Logic Pro, but I don't produce as much as I record probably, so like there's other producers for me or whatever that use like Ableton or something like that, but Logic Pro is like my favorite to use personally. I think that, like, if you get into like music production, just be prepared to like learn like a ton of stuff, because there's just like I've been doing this for years, and there's just like what does half of this stuff do? You know what I mean? Like, I guess my instrument's like somewhat my voice, but I do like making electronic music, but I just like of course I know notes and stuff like that, but I just turn a bunch of buttons and knobs and try to make it sound as best as I can, you know. But that's like the rawness. Like me and Blake made that song Enchanted. Just like, I think we sampled like one tiny thing in there, and then we just like, it kept building, and it just like, it's cool how songs can just like evolve out of something like that, or different things like that. Yeah, I feel like I tell people I'm a introvert trapped in an extrovert's like body and lifestyle, because I've like forced myself into these situations, like even even just like meeting up with people, like you guys are super chill. Like there's nothing wrong with like meeting up with people, and I don't get like nervous or anything, but it's just like sometimes you just don't know who to trust sometimes, like with your image or just things like that. I think a lot of artists are like that. Like, I think a lot more people than you'd think, but like it's kind of the same probably with me. Like once you get in front of a crowd, you just like, that's where you always envision yourself, so you just like feel a lot more open. Oh wait, can I look at my notes for this one? I had a really good I remember this one I put down. Okay, it would be a sad psychological ambient sci-fi romance. It hits all the like the aesthetics that I'd want it to. That was a really good question. I want to be like remembered for being someone that like inspires other people, probably. Like, I feel like just so many artists that just are like remembered for like definitely looking cool, or like making cool music and stuff, but like I literally just, even if it spawns like another artist that's better than me, like way better, like a superstar or something, like if I could have inspired them to make art, like that's my goal. Like I think that when I release music, I don't release it so that you can just enjoy it like once, or just like listen to it like a song. Like I want it to be an experience. Like that's why I release so many videos, is because like I'm very visual. Like I think that I don't really want to release like a song almost if I can't release a music video with it. Sometimes I still do it because I need to put out content, but I think like there's an experience that I try to give, and not just a song, I guess. So, yeah, so I hope that I can make something more with Leo and Tony, but I think that I really just want to focus on, again, more visual projects. I think here in the future, I think that I've lacked on releasing a couple videos. Like, even though I just released the one with Blake like a couple weeks ago, I need to like probably put out some more videos this year. So I'm probably going to try to put out at least 2 or 3 more videos this year, hopefully. But we'll see how it goes.